Hello and welcome to your daily cup of football. We're back to back days. Look at
It's
that.
almost like we're daily or something.
It's almost like we're
We should,
daily.
we should have that reflect in the name.
I think we should. You're right. We'll get right on that. We're back, James, with some games to talk about. There were 3 games. There's usually 3 games, except for tomorrow when there's 2. We'll get into that later. Everybody now has played 2 games at the Euros, James, which is a nice place to look back and look at where we're at going into the third. Crucial for some teams, meaningless for some teams, games. But we're going to start with the games that were today. Well, let's just start with the good game. I mean, they were all kind of. I think 2 of them I were kind of. The middle game I think was the best game, which makes sense. Portugal played Germany in Munich. I mean, I think Reese Davis, who was the studio analyst for ESPN, is usually a college football guy, but he summed it up kind of perfectly at the final whistle, saying, rumors of Germany's demise were greatly exaggerated. I think that's pretty fair. They came out against a team. It looked like the first 20 minutes, we were going to look like geniuses, or maybe you, because you were saying, oh, Germany's going to have the ball, but then Portugal's going to pick them off and win like 2-0. And that was kind of what happened at the beginning. Germany's in control. The Portugal scored on the break. Nice counterattack. They're up 1-0. But then before the half was over, Germany comes back with 2 goals. And, if you can't find a goal scorer, you know what you can do? You can always do this. Just kick the ball off the other team and let them score for you.
It's a good strategy.
Rafael Guerrero and Ruben Diaz, obliged and put it in the net. And at halftime, it was 2-1. Second half, Germany kept it going. And this time, their players on their own team scored. Kai Havertz scored. And then Robin Gosens in the Denzel Dumfries role, a wingback just kind of doing everything. He already had a goal disallowed in the first half. Has scored a well-worked goal from one fullback to the other, or wingback, I should say, Joshua Kimmich to Gosens. And now Germany, they did leak a goal off a set piece, which was kind of like, okay, there's like maybe the question mark, like, okay, this isn't your brother's Germany, your dad's Germany. It's not that long ago, but who was like would dominate group stages basically. But now they have 3 points. They are second in the group because of the head-to-head with Portugal. I was disappointed by Portugal. I thought they looked pretty shaky. Their whole back line had a howler, basically. 2 of them got conceded own goals. Semedo, the right back, got torched by Gosens, who I didn't even know was German and I had never heard this guy's name 2 weeks ago. So where do you stand on Germany? Because the feeling out of it after this is we were talking about they can't score. What's going on? And then they drop 4 on Portugal. And you're like, again, they have good.
It's a numbers game.
They have a good record against Portugal, to be fair, in major tournaments. But it was a surprising result, I would say, and it puts Germany in a good position. And they've definitely moved up in my estimation because they found ways to create dangerous moments. Not necessarily like Havertz is their number 9 or striker on the field. He did get a goal. But they look dangerous against a team who's supposed to be solid at the Euros and really put Portugal in a questionable. Are we sure they're like as good as we thought? I don't know. What did you?
Are they who we thought they were?
I don't know. At one point, Taylor Tolman was saying this is the most talent that Ronaldo's had around him, which might be the case, but they looked a little shaky back there.
Yeah. Did you hear what he kept calling the back line?
What did he call?
Who's the guy, the champion, right?
Yeah.
No.
John Champion was play-by-play.
Yeah.
Taylor Tolman
kept calling them pensioners.
Is that what he's? I didn't hear that.
And am I wrong, or does that mean they're old? I think that's what he's saying.
Well, definitely Pepe, when he started the last game, I was like, is this really the best? I mean, I know Pepe's experience, but like, I feel like that's a weakness right there because he's kind of older. But he's kind of, I don't know. It was just Germany. They stuck with the same lineup, which apparently people were like, oh, Love, you got to change stuff. He kept the same lineup and was vindicated by that. But are you more impressed by Germany or like, oh, Portugal? What are you doing? I mean, we thought Germany played pretty well in the last game. They just kind of were playing a better team, but I
think Germany stepped up their game. I think they did what they weren't doing in the first game, which was putting numbers in the box. Your crosses are much, much more likely to find someone when there's someone there. That's a fun fact for all of you playing at home. But thinking about coaching soccer, you're probably going to want to have someone in the box if you're planning on crossing it. And that's what they were doing. They were throwing numbers, probably because they knew that they didn't have to deal with Mbappe. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it was because France was just more solid. But they were getting involved. Gosens was basically unplayable. I mean, he was all over the place.
I mean,
he
they
had
did
he had a good
though
game.
in the first half a little bit look a little. Obviously, they gave up a goal in the counterattack. A little shaky back there. I mean, Hummels has the experience, and Ginter is okay. Rudiger, whatever, and it's not like. I mean, Coleman was basically saying they could be taken apart on the counter. That they're not very fast at the back. Portugal really didn't take advantage of that, apart from the goal. I think the other thing is when they were making substitutions, Germany does have depth. I think more depth probably than Portugal. Portugal subs, they came on. I think they said João Felix was injured, but they brought on like Andre Silva, Rafa Silva. Was it Rafa Silva also who was pretty influential in the first game? Germany's bringing on like Goretzka, who's like really good for Bayern. Leroy Sané, who like is a really good player, but can't seem to start for any of the teams he's a part of, but he's a good player.
He starts for Bayern.
Oh, he's Bayern. Okay, I know. I remember. Well, does he start for Bayern?
Sometimes.
I know Gnabry is a kind of penciled in guy. I think he had a good game. Yeah, I mean, both these teams are probably going to advance now. That at 1-0 though, we were heading to a scenario where like Germany's going to have 0 points, and they're talking about like, oh, they should have fired Low after the 2018 World Cup. Like they haven't had a big result.
They still should have fired Low after the
2018
World Cup.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Nothing changes. That's still.
But
still
is
true.
this? Are we in a last dance scenario, James? Is Germany going to be like? Is Low going to go out on top as like? You know, because if he goes out if he had gone out with a group stage here, like his whole kind of career, legacy, is kind of like, you won a World Cup, but like you kind of also underachieved. So I feel like this was a big win. His biggest win probably, I mean, in a long time, to be honest. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since they had a big win. Maybe the World Cup final. I mean, I don't know if that's being
ouch.
I don't know if that's being too harsh on them, but it was a big win. So now Germany, in your own personal standings of contenders, have they, because I don't think you had them in your semifinal. Oh no, did you? No, I did.
I don't remember.
But have they moved into that, or are they still, you're not really sure about them?
I don't know. It's only been 2 games. I'm not, I think better of them now than I did before I watched the game. That's definitely true. But I don't know yet. They look shaky at the back, but at the same time, the only team that hasn't looked shaky at the back is Italy. Literally every team has looked shaky at the back except Italy. So
yeah, Italy's one of like 3 teams who haven't conceded in the tournament. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think Portugal, that this was a kind of a reality check of like, okay, maybe they aren't gonna just waltz into the semifinal. But then again, it was just usually they don't play great, but they still kind of find a way. And today they kind of got exposed when they didn't play well. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And they get France next. And we'll talk about France now. France is probably going to want to come back with a better performance than they showed today. They tied Hungary in Budapest, which apparently has turned into kind of a difficult place to go. Portugal were made to work a little bit. But in this one, Hungary took the lead. Basically off a mistake by Pavard, and then Varane didn't really want to make a tackle because he was probably afraid of being red carded, which I guess is fine. And then it was just a goal by the guy's name is like Attila, which I was like, okay, cool, Attila Fiola. Never heard of him, but it's fine. They're up 1-0, and France eventually got the goal. It was Route 1 stuff. Lloris punted it. Misjudged. They let the ball bounce, and Mbappe made them pay on the. He kind of beat one man across it, and it was poor clearance, not even a clearance by the defender. And Griezmann was there. But they held on for a tie, which keeps them in this tournament. And France, I was thinking during this game, the game against Germany, at least the way that Deschamps usually seems to want to play, which is on the break. They seem more comfortable in that scenario than we need to break down a wall of 11 people or 10 people, whatever. That's what it seemed like. And the game, like for instance, like a player like Conte, I feel like does better in a game where there's constantly like transition, as opposed to like we're just going to keep going from side to side trying to like pinpoint ways to break them down. So it wasn't a great performance. I don't think it's anything to be too worried about, but at the same time, people were shocked that Scotland got a draw against England. This is kind of in that area. Probably even a bigger upset, to be honest. Hungary is not a great team. Are you worried about France? There was also probably a sense of like, we got our win against Germany. We're probably okay. And Hungary was up for it, but because their tournament was at stake. But do you take anything big away from this? Or they had chances too. Benzema had a pretty good chance on the really good flick from Mbappe for Benzema that probably should have been a finish. He didn't finish it, but
I mean, that wasn't even their best chance of the game. Mbappe should have
Mbappe
scored
had
on
a
his own
chance.
twice.
Yeah.
Twice. He rounded two people and then just missed the entire goal. And then his chance, like right in front of the goalie, he just kicked it straight at him. So I think if you're going to be worried about anything, it's going to be finishing. You want to win tournaments, you're going to have to kick the ball into the net. Because Hungary didn't play very well. Because as you can see by the fact that they conceded at least 3 that we can just off the top of our head. If you can come up with 3 goal scoring opportunities off the top of your head, something went wrong in your defending. That's not a good thing. Because Hungary had one and only chance. That's what they did well. They had one chance, one attack, one goal.
And they almost had that against Portugal, but they were offside, and it was almost the same kind of scenario. They got it. They would have taken the lead in that game.
But what hurt France the most was that Hungary were injected with 500 cc's of belief, and that is more powerful than that can stop skill from succeeding a lot of the times. And that's probably what happened in this game. They had a lead to protect, and then a tie to protect. I mean, that was I don't see Hungary scoring an equalizer. Is what I'm trying to say here.
If it had gone the other, if France,
if France scores first, it's 3-0. Because then all that bubble I was talking about yesterday, pop, you're done. So I think that played a big factor in this game.
Yeah. So Hungary now goes to play Germany. They have to leave their home that they've been the last 2 games. They go to Munich to play Germany. Portugal is going to play France, I believe. Where's that game going to be? That game is going to be, they play in Budapest, which is interesting. So yeah, right now France is top of the group because Germany won. Germany's in second. Portugal is in third. Hungary's still alive. Basically everyone except France is probably still safe. Technically, Portugal and Germany, one of those two is probably going through, at least, if not both. I mean,
yeah.
If everyone ties, Hungary's out, and then. But I feel like I think France Portugal is going to be interesting. I'm not sure. We'll see if like any big changes happen in the Portugal team after today's game. I'm guessing there'll be some changes, maybe. But
I doubt it.
You think they'll just roll out the same team that allowed 4 goals?
Yeah. Who else are they going to put in?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but
João Felix isn't in the squad.
No, he's in the squad. He was just injured for this game. No, I don't know if
he's not playing. He's done.
Moutinho will come in.
Yeah, he was great.
He came on and I think he played the ball and that ended up being a goal, right? Set pieces.
Yes.
Now, okay, speaking of teams that scored first, and I thought this was going to be a pretty straightforward win, we now go to Spain in the category of I'm losing belief. I went from I want to believe to more I want to believe to I don't know if I believe anymore. Spain played Poland in Seville. Poland, who we gave like 3 sentences to in an hour and a half long podcast because they lost after I think they had fallen behind, equalized
right at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, then they got red carded. Then they lost to Slovakia, and we were writing them off. And it looked like they were going to get written off in the tournament because they needed to get a result today. They would have been eliminated. Spain took the lead in the 24th or 25th minute. Alvaro Morata started again, and this time he scored off of the Gerardo. Is it Gerard Moreno from Villarreal? He started in place of Fernan Torres, And it was kind of like we were talking about in the last time we were talking about Spain, like, hey, just take a shot. Maybe something will happen. And that's what he did. He was kind of just shooting it. Morata was in the right place, tapped it in, 1-0. He was called offside by the linesman, but VAR correctly gave him the goal. But the thing is, they never put Poland away. And to be honest, if you swapped Lewandowski and Morata in this game, let's just say Lewandowski's playing for Spain, which would be like not fair. But Morata he did score. He had other chances in this game that he didn't take. Lewandowski had one half chance, kind of, from a cross, and he headed it in. He bullied Aymeric Laporte and said, "Get off me, you bum. I just broke Gerd Muller's record. Who do you think you are?" Dunked on him, basically, and it's 1-1. And Spain did what they did against Sweden, which is like huff and puff and pass and pass and pass and pass and pass, but didn't do it. And look, after one game, you can say they were unlucky. Okay, we have 2 games worth of this, and they had a penalty. They got a penalty kick, and it was kind of like a not lucky, but it was like some guy got stepped on. Okay, it's a penalty. This is your way to get a result. Moreno steps up, Villarreal. He scored like every penalty kick for Villarreal, and he hit the post. And then it fell to Morata, who missed the goal completely. And he looks like a guy, even though he scored with not a lot of confidence. I feel kind of bad that, everything's now on him if they don't score. It's like Morata didn't get it done. And it's like, I mean,
Why
I guess.
do the chances keep falling to him?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Why
You
is it
feel
always
bad. It's
him?
like, why are we can we put someone else up there? And then the other thing is that I was realizing during this game is as they were bringing on other people was like, they don't have much like a guy you're going to bring on and be like, ooh, that guy. They don't.
They have more of the same guys.
They're more of the same kind of guys. And Julie Foudy on the ESPN program, post-game thing was saying, because they do have a lot of young players. She's like, maybe this is one tournament too early for them, for this younger team. Might be the case. I definitely think this is not their tournament. I mean, they're doing exactly what they did kind of in 2018, where if they're going to get through, they're probably going to need to win this next game and have 5 points, which is what they got in the World Cup. And in that World Cup, they had Portugal in the group, got that tie, but then had 2 kind of weaker teams in Iran and Morocco and had to work really hard to win one of those games 1-0. They're playing Slovakia, who has a win and is right now second. Spain is in third. They should win, but they should have won the last 2 games. So, James, I'm kind of getting a little annoyed by this. At first, I was like, I want to believe in Spain, but now I'm just kind of like, can you guys either just get to, like, I don't know. Passing is great. Possession is great. Win the game. How about that? Just win the game. Like, I don't know if the Wolves player, Adama Traore, excuse me. He's not a very like typical Spanish style player, but he's a different kind of player. And Effen Nkoku on the broadcast was like, you've been trying everything else. Why not throw on a pretty good he can beat people off the dribble, a lot of passing, but sometimes you need someone to beat someone and cross something in or just go direct. And Adama Traore is a direct player in a team that doesn't like playing direct. And I don't know if he's ever going to get to the field. He probably won't, because Luis Enrique is like, we must go by the Spanish book, which is we need no less than 600 passes in this game and no less than 70%, or it's a failure. And it works if you have Iniesta and Xavi and I guess Fernando Torres
and
David Villa. But in this team, they need to do a rethink of what they're. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you think. I was just kind of getting a little annoyed by it by the end of it. I was like, you know what? Just don't win. You know what? You don't get the win. You keep passing it around. I'm glad Lewandowski scored. Poland.
Ouch.
And because it's just infuriating. Like,
I know. Just kick it into the goal. They've had the chances. It's not like they lacked the final ball. The final ball was there. The final ball wasn't there.
I've talked too much, but I'll say one more thing and then I'll let you just go on this. But I was thinking, like, are they good? Are they good? They have 2 points after 2 games at home against Sweden and Poland. I'm just throwing it out there. Now you can defend it, and I don't know if you're going to defend it, but what are you thinking about Spain? Because I'm kind of at a loss.
I think it'd be harsh to say they're not good. They're not good at finishing. That's true. They're good at everything else, though. Pretty much everything else. At least a B plus on everything else. Finishing apparently is like a C minus, but it's kind of important.
Yeah, kind of
I
important.
I don't know. The typical the one that summed it all up for me was when in the second half there's a ball played in.
Yep.
And this guy, I think it was Sarabia, runs onto it. And instead of going for goal, he tries to chest it down to Morata, who fluffs the chance. And I'm sitting here like, was that offside? I don't even know. I don't care. Go for goal, dude. You're right there.
Right when that happened, I was thinking the same thing. He's in the 6-yard box is where that ball, a beautiful ball from Jordi Alba. Was it Jordi Alba? I think it was Jordi Alba. Probably. I don't know who it was, but he's like running onto it. He's in the 6-yard box. The whole goal is in front of him, but instead he turns away from the goal. It's like, oh, no. No. We need to make this prettier. Here, Morata, let me use my chest and lay it off for you. It's like, that was a perfect microcosm, of just everything of like, we're overplaying, and then when we have a chance, we're just not going to finish it.
Yeah, a nice cutting pass, a nice cutting run, all that's great. And then they're like, wait, hold on. How do you score again? You do it. I can't do it. You go. That's not very good. As to how good these players are, would any of these players make the 2010 World Cup lineup?
No.
Maybe Llorente, because I don't know who their right back was.
Maybe
Llorente. Other than that, none of these guys would have made the squad.
They were playing like Sergio Ramos at right back in the day, back in his like mullet days. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
So that should tell you something a little bit. When you
but
think about,
I wasn't even gonna say that team, like, because that team's like an all-time great soccer team for like all of soccer history. Like, okay, that's like, they're not anywhere near that. Like, how many of them would start in the French team? That's my question. How many of them start in the Italy team? I don't know. Maybe more in the Italy team, but like, they're not at that level. Not even maybe the Belgian team. Belgium has better, players. So that's my thing. It's like, they're all really good players. Like, technically, that's no question about that. I'm like saying, as this team, is this team good? I mean,
not good enough to win. Not unless something drastically changes.
They're not going to. Well, first of all, like, I have not much confidence now that it's Slovakia. So, like, theoretically, they should win this game. And maybe they will. Maybe they'll get the 1-0 win to go through. And they could actually probably go through with a tie. They'd have to get some help. But that would be kind of embarrassing, to be honest, for Spain, if they got 3 ties. I mean, you're at home. That's the other thing. They're at home. We've seen Italy take that and just destroy people. Netherlands at home got the win. Played, I mean, it's not as much possession, but played better and more attacking with flair. Italy and Netherlands both, and probably Belgium, played, maybe not as much possession, but much more dangerous looking, more direct and
incisive.
We'll see. Yeah. The only reason I want Spain to go through is just to see how they do against a supposed like bigger team. That's my only thing, because I don't know. They haven't had that in this group. Sweden, right now, who's top of the group, because they beat Slovakia and they got a tie. Sweden, look, we're kind of, they're cowards. No, they're not cowards. Are they cowards?
No.
Deep cut reference. They're one of 3 teams that hasn't conceded, and Spain conceded. Like, the Spanish teams of old did win 1-0. And this team gave up a goal. And I mean, I didn't really see it coming, but it's like, Lewandowski's on the field. This guy, like, he's done nothing in this tournament, and he doesn't have that many goals for Poland at major tournaments, but he's still Lewandowski. He's still like, you don't really want to mess with that. And at the end of the game, I was like, you know what? They kind of deserve like a late, just bogus goal from somebody, or like because it's like,
come on, no.
I'm just tired of the passing for passing.
Look, you're being too negative. You got to look at the bright side. The bright side is that the fix is minor. The only thing they're missing is
it's not minor.
Finishing.
It's
That's
not minor.
Pretty minor. They
it's
should
not
be minor.
That's like the most
when
important
you're
thing.
right in front of the goal and you can't do it. They need to figure out why they're not scoring.
Okay,
and just kick it in.
Okay, what are they gonna do? de-age Luis Enrique and throw him up there? Are they gonna like bring back some? I mean, this is the team they have.
Honestly, I think it'll be a momentum thing.
Well, see, this is the thing. They have no momentum. This is the problem.
That's what they're gonna have to build some kind of momentum, like a wonder goal. I don't know, something to like get like okay.
Because I think the
the
opposite is
confidence
happening
back.
right now. The opposite is happening. They're
It's
thinking
getting
about
worse.
it too much now. They went through
Yeah.
one game where it's like, oh, we should have won that game. We missed chances. So then they're thinking about it in the Poland game. Okay, we have to win. Okay, we have to win. Oh, we didn't win. We had chances. Now this third game, the pressure is on them more than the last two.
Yeah.
Morata, I don't even know. Like, I mean, maybe you should think about playing someone else from the start. I don't know, but he seems not confident. He's had a rough time.
Still playing.
I mean, is Iniesta? Can we bring him back from China or Japan, wherever he is? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I think it's Japan, but yes, can we bring him back?
Yeah, maybe I'm being negative because they're unbeaten through 2 games, so that's
Maybe
good.
you're being negative. You are definitely being negative.
James, I watched 180 minutes of this, and I've watched 180 minutes of other teams who are playing like probably better teams and who have done more. That's it.
Yeah.
And they haven't really done anything. We're talking about Germany not having a big win for a while. Spain hasn't had a really good win in a while. So maybe they're going to figure it out. But I feel like this is what Spain usually does, is they stick to it no matter what.
Yeah.
And if it works, great. If it doesn't, it's like, okay, have fun getting knocked out in the round of 16 by somebody. Or maybe they'll get to the quarterfinal depending on the draw. All right. We're going to not talk about Spain anymore.
They
I was
hurt you.
excited
I can
for
tell
this
that they
game
hurt you.
because I was excited. It's Saturday. Now that I have a job when these tournaments are happening, I was like looking forward to this day because like I can just watch the game. And I watched the game and I was like,
You're like,
for the first like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, it's just gonna be this. Okay. I was hoping for like, I don't know what I was hoping for. Swaggering performance. We're gonna beat them 3-0. Yeah, let's just beat these. When the first goal went in, I was like, here we go. They're gonna do it.
You're watching the wrong tape. You got to go on YouTube and type in South Africa World Cup.
I guess.
If you want to watch that.
I'll just go type in Peru versus Chile 2019 Copa America. How about that?
Yeah.
Doesn't get better than that. All right. So like we said, everybody's played 2 games. So everybody has one more game left. We're gonna have at the end of the group stage like categories of like winners of like, I'm not gonna give them away, but for James to decide, I'm gonna give him nominees.
Yay. The problem is he decides the nominees. I don't know why.
Oh well, we can talk about it. We could talk about it. You could have a nominee
before recording.
Yeah. We'll plan it out.
Okay.
I don't know, but right now, at this point, this is what we're gonna do. This is like a tradition here.
Tradition.
Where I'm gonna ask James who he knows I'm gonna ask.
I think I know what's coming.
Who has been the most impressive team so far in this tournament? Impressive.
While I think about it, why don't you explain to those who don't know?
Okay, here's what happened. The origins of this and why James is like laughing as I'm asking what is a kind of like typical
should be
question.
A straightforward question.
It was the 2017 Confederations Cup, which is no longer a cup because of COVID.
Thank goodness. Thank you.
Yeah. It was like an 8-team tournament. Doesn't matter. The basic point is there was a group stage. There was matches. I asked James who was the most impressive team in that tournament. We had like Spain, Brazil, all these teams. James said Cameroon because I didn't ask who was the best team. I said impressive. And based on his expectations going in, Cameroon had done the most to exceed those expectations, therefore impressing James more than, say, Brazil, who may have been winning games. But he's like, I expected that from Brazil. Cameroon, of course, Cameroon didn't really do anything else in the tournament. I don't even remember.
They lost their next game. Zambo let me down. Zambo and Gisa let me down in that next game.
They probably played like Brazil.
Against the under-23 German
So
team.
Ever since then, that's why that's couched with the whole, James laughs and he's going to come up with something. So I'm not even going to ask for the best team. I just want who's been the most impressive.
Okay.
You can give, if there's more than one, you can give like.
Okay, I can think of 3 teams that have been.
So go with from third to most impressive. So number 3, the third most impressive
Number
team
3,
through 2 games at the Euros is
Ukraine. Of course. Backheel
yes,
City, baby. I was shocked that they had anything at all. Yarmchuk, I mean, what a guy.
2
What a
goals,
guy.
2 goals, 2 games,
2 goals. Yarmolenko,
1
how does he
goal,
still do it?
2 goals, 2 games.
They've looked so much better than I thought they were going to.
Second place in the group.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I don't know what they're going to do from here on, but I've been very impressed with
their
them.
last game is against Austria, all to play
Yep.
for Austria and Ukraine. Okay.
Yeah.
Ukraine. Number 2, James.
2
second most impressive team.
is Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was expecting them to do well in this group, but they've dismantled not one but 2 teams that were supposed to be decent
Yeah.
going into this tournament. That was very, very impressive. So I've been
All
very
right.
impressed with
Italy.
Italy.
Yes, that's good. Now, who has been, this is exciting, the most impressive team through 2 games, according to James Wilson?
Who do you think I'm going to say?
I
That's what
don't
wanna
know. Well, hold on. Let me look at it. Because you're laughing like it's going to be outside the box. Like it's going to be a team that has like 1 point right now.
Wow.
Oh, well, no. He's not going to do it. Well, maybe he will.
Ooh. Does he know?
I don't know. Oh, no. Wait. Let me look at it again. Okay, it's one of 2 teams. It's either Wales or Denmark. And only Denmark because I've never seen you talk about a soccer game like you talked about Belgium-Denmark. So that's
Yeah.
just one. But Wales, it's Wales or Denmark.
Wales or Denmark?
Or it's not.
I
one
know
of those two.
the problem with both of those teams is that they haven't been good over both games. That was just 1 game from Denmark
Okay, I see.
and 1 game from Wales.
So then it's
making
Belgium.
the number 1 most impressive team, obviously, clearly, the Czech Republic. I mean, how could it not be?
Oh,
How could
my
it not
God.
be? You kidding me? They destroy Scotland. Scotland didn't have a chance in that game. Okay, and then they go toe to toe with the World Cup finalists in 2018. They could have won that game.
The same World Cup finalists you've called frauds on many occasions, including during the World Cup in 2018.
They made Croatia look like frauds. And leading the line, none other than Schick, the man himself.
Wow. You see, James,
They're gonna give England a game. You heard it here first. I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park for England.
Check back in on Tuesday. Wow, wow.
You really didn't see that coming?
I should have, but I guess we haven't
Wow.
done this in a while. Wow.
Yeah.
Czech Republic, you people, Czech Republic, who right now are, I mean, they are first place in their group. Wow.
They almost beat Croatia. They almost have 6 points.
They almost did,
Very close.
but they didn't.
Yeah, but we expected. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the tournament.
That's true. We did
That's what my expectation was.
I see. So Czech Republic.
Yeah, Czech Republic. There you go. Buy your Schick jerseys now, people. While they're still cheap.
Before we talk about the games tomorrow, do you have like a worst team or most disappointing? Just give me one.
Most disappointing, based on the same criteria. It has. Trying to think of someone other than Turkey. I thought like there was one other one that I was thinking of, but
Russia,
I guess it's just gonna have to be Turkey.
Scotland.
No. I think
Spain.
it's gonna have to be Turkey. No, they've been disappointing, but not the most.
So
I think it's Turkey. Turkey's been useless.
Good segue, James, because Turkey plays tomorrow.
To prove us wrong.
I hope not. They play
Sneak
Switzerland
into the next round.
Maybe they play Switzerland. And at the same time, Italy plays Wales. All the third match days are played. The groups play at the same time, so that there cannot be any chicanerous results. At least that's the idea, because that's happened. In this group, it doesn't really matter because there's a clear top 2 and a clear seller. Switzerland right now is 3rd place, and some 3rd place teams get through. However, if Switzerland, if the group stage ended now, they would be 6th place out of 6 3rd place teams with 1 point and a -3 goal differential. Turkey has to win, and basically so does Switzerland. They both have to win. A tie does neither one of them any good. For Italy and Wales, Italy needs a tie to win the group, or win. The only way Wales doesn't finish second is if they lose and Switzerland wins. But I also think Switzerland would have to do some goal differential stuff because Wales has +2, Switzerland's -3. The most likely scenario is that it stays the way it is. Italy wins the group, Wales finishes second, Switzerland gets third, Turkey gets fourth. That's what it seems like. Could Wales beat Italy? They could. I just don't think they will. And if I'm Italy, like there's probably going to be rotation, but I would say they don't probably want to do too much to upset this rhythm because they're flying high right now. 6 goals in 2 games, none conceded, 6 points. It couldn't be any better. Yes, you want to have people rested, but you'd also want to be coming in with another good performance like you had in the last 2 games. And if you let Wales win or, you tie, you don't want to take your foot off the gas. I'm not sure. Wales, I'm not sure what to expect either because they had a big win against Turkey. They want to stay in second, I think, probably just so they theoretically get a better opponent. I have the bracket for the round of 16 and the knockout stage here, just to give you an idea of what you could be facing depending on your spot. So if you win Group A, which is what Italy likely is going to do, you play second place in Group C, which is Netherlands group. So Netherlands is first. It's either going to be probably Ukraine or Austria. That's a pretty good round of 16 game. If you finish second in Group A, you place second of Belgium's group, which still could be Belgium, but probably will be Russia, Denmark. So third place of Group A, there's multiple.
Could it really be Denmark?
After
After losing first 2 games, they could finish second?
Maybe not.
Oh, no, they're playing Russia, right?
They're playing
and
Russia.
has
It could,
3.
It could be them.
And Finland has 0.
Right
no,
now,
Finland's
in third. Finland's in third because of head-to-head. Russia's in second.
Right, so they need Finland to get smacked.
Which is likely going to happen.
And then beat Russia, which is actually pretty likely. They
so Denmark could be.
And then head-to-head, they'd be.
Yeah. So what do you think tomorrow? I mean, I kind of think Switzerland and Turkey have both been like meh. Turkey been terrible. Switzerland have been more eh. I don't really see Turkey coming back. They've been bad. There's a bad probably momentum. They have no momentum. They got beat by Italy, which was okay, fine. But they got embarrassed kind of. They got no chance. And then Wales beat them 2-0. They probably were not expecting that. I don't see Turkey doing anything. I think it's more likely that they tie each other. But if anyone's going to win, I think it's unfortunately Switzerland for you. But where do you see this going?
Switzerland have looked better than Turkey. They should expect to win this game, which is exactly why I think they won't. I think it's going to be a tie, and I will be gleefully laughing as both of them are knocked out of the tournament because Switzerland didn't get enough points, and Turkey finished last. That will be great. That's what my heart is gleefully asking for at this moment.
Will Turkey score, or will they go home with
nothing?
Yes,
it'll be like a 80th minute type of equalizer.
Is that
to steal the points away from Switzerland?
Is that more because I want Turkey to lose in painful fashion. Sorry, you know what you did. Is it more painful for them to go out of this tournament with 0 goals, 0 points, or to score some kind of consolation, it means nothing goal? Which is a more painful way to go, James?
Well, I think it's definitely worse to go with 0 goals and 0 points. I mean,
we know all about painful results, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
And I do too, but
not many teams accomplish the 0 goals.
There's only 2 teams right now with no goals.
Even Tahiti in the Confederations Cup in 2013 scored a goal. They conceded, I think, almost 20 goals over 3 games. Almost 20. But they scored 1.
That's what Spain needs, a matchup against Tahiti to really get the juices.
10-0 that game was. 10.
Anyway. Okay, so what about Italy, Wales? Because I'm interested to see just what do we have in Wales? Now, this isn't maybe as good of a test because Italy, I don't know, maybe Italy's going to be like, no, third place, third game, we're just going to like kind of coast. We're going to come out here and put these guys away.
I think they're going to have to go for the win because they want to win the group.
But I think Italy is good enough that at least what we've seen so far with their defense being so resolute that they could kind of go for like not really pick up the tempo and kind of keep this kind of comfortable and just tie 0-0. Like, because Wales, yes, they created chances against Turkey's back line. And against Switzerland, they got the 1 chance from Kiefer Moore. I'm pretty sure Bonucci and Chiellini are not shaking in their boots at Kiefer Moore. Maybe they should be. I just think Italy is going to set the terms of like, we could just kind of set, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Wales is going to be like, you know what? Rob Page and his bald head is looking for a move to like Tottenham or something. And he's going to go out there and they're going to beat Italy. But I see.
I just don't think that if you're Italy, you're thinking to yourselves, yeah, I'd be comfortable tying 0-0 because that's just a huge risk.
Yeah.
You might not be concerned with Keith or Moore, but you might also try to clear the ball and he'll fall in front of it and then they get a penalty. They might get a cheap penalty. You can't afford to go the entire game not scoring on the off chance that the other team won't score. I don't see, that sounds like a strategy that someone who's not playing the game would come up with. Like, oh, we'll just tie 0-0. Like that's, the players are like not thinking, yeah, guys, we're going to go for a 0-0. They're thinking, let's finish this game off so that we can, maybe they're thinking, let's score 3 goals again. So early, so then we can just cruise through the rest of the game and sub off all of our important guys. That's probably what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is the group standings as they are now, are they going to change?
I don't think so. I think it'll stay the same. Yeah. I mean, my heart is actually being torn in 2 different directions because I want Wales to do well, but I also like the idea of Italy maintaining this 0
Perfect
goals, winning the
record, yeah.
game, and that would require Wales failing. So
Wales could lose 1-0, and even with a Switzerland win, I believe they would go through, depending on how many goals Switzerland won by. But
yeah, but I think my brain is telling me that Italy's got this one.
they should. We'll see. We'll see.
Probably
if they
not 3-0. I hope not 3-0.
I mean, if the
It
rest
could happen, honestly.
if the other games are any indication, like Wales has done well again. I mean, they've played better than Turkey and Switzerland. So does that translate against Italy? We'll see. Maybe it won't. I guess if you're I was looking at where these next games would be in the round of 16. There's not really a scenario that Italy ends up playing in Rome for the round of 16, no matter where they finish. But if, say, Wales is second, they go to Amsterdam to play the runner-up of Group B. If they somehow win the group, they go to London for that game. So that's a pretty good. That'd be all the Wales fans who had to like go all the way to Baku would probably enjoy the London trip.
Would.
So there's only 2 games tomorrow. They're both at 9 a.m. I believe. Let me just double check. 1 second. 9 a.m. Pacific time. I think the Italy game is on ESPN and the Turkey Switzerland game is on ESPN 2. So that's it. We're not going to go for another hour, just because I know you guys really enjoyed that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it was a lot. But we're gonna be back tomorrow. It's probably later because I guess we're gonna wait for this game. Peru is playing Colombia. We're not gonna preview it. We're just gonna set expectations very low so we can be kind of like, oh, we tied. That's good.
0-0.
Yeah, zeros on the scoreboard. Let's just go for a clean sheet. How about that? But yeah, James, we're into the last round. So we're almost today's Saturday. Next Saturday, the round of 16 starts. So it's exciting. Wow. I know, I can tell you're super excited.
No, I'm sad because that means it's almost over.
Oh, come on, James. There's still a lot of games to be played. A lot of games.
It's gonna go like that.
It will. That's what always happens. But you can look forward to our end of group winners and little thing we're gonna do.
Little award show.
We're gonna be back tomorrow, but then after that we'll see, because during the week it's a little more difficult. Maybe Monday. I'm trying to give people a warning because we didn't really give a warning that we were gonna go off. Off the grid for a week. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure tomorrow and Monday we'll have podcasts, and then we'll see what happens. There are two days off next week. There's no games on Thursday or Friday in between the group stage ending and the round of 16 starting. So maybe that'll be a good time to come back.
Be. Don't do it. 2 days?
They need a
How
break.
am I going to survive?
They need a break. I don't know, James. Copa America.
I'll just be here at the corner of my bedroom, waiting for the next game.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But we'll be back tomorrow. And for me, David Wilson, and James, thank you for joining us from the corner of your bedroom. We'll be back tomorrow with another podcast.
Bye.